All right, you guys. I'm sorry. Y'all excuse the background. um, it just cut off the live, so it's okay. We like our lives to get cut off just for no reason. It's okay. I mean, I love it. I think it's fun. I just go back live. I mean, I guess that's how it goes. So why you might as well love it, right? You might as well. Y'all want me to lean back? Hey, lean back. I mean, we might as well love it. What y'all think? By the way, I ain't this big. Look at this. It's like I got a blanket on me, y'all. Don't it? It's okay. I like this too. Shoot. Hey, how you doing? So, ain't nothing wrong. My husband to see this, my future husband be like, ooh, more love, more something, more to love. You know what I mean? Hey, it is what it is. I promise you, this is, it's all good. But we like it. I love it. I like having 0 views, and I like having my videos cut off on a live. It's it. And so it's just, I like it. That's what it likes to do. Shit, I like it too. Shit, we just like having it. So, but but so yeah. So what I was sharing was, so females definitely can molest and rape. Be very careful, male and female, with your children and with yourself. Um, you know, people can try to violate you, and if they can't, especially the dangerous thing about a female. See, a man, if you're a female and or if you're a man, it's very rare, from my understanding, unless it's out there, it's very rare that a man is going to accuse a woman of raping him or trying to rape him. It's very rare that a man's going to even accuse another man of trying to molest or rape him. Those are very rare. I believe, because I really haven't heard it in a sense. I know that it exists, but you don't really hear it like you hear women. You see what I'm saying? It's very rare. A call's gonna get to a police station of a man complaining that a woman raped him or tried to rape him. You see what I'm saying? And so, but I'm just letting you know that that is a real thing. So be very careful. Usually, if a woman can't get her way with you, she could easily lie. So they'll believe a woman over a man's word. If a man tries to say, "Oh no, she tried to rape me," call the police. That's very rare that the police is gonna even entertain that. You know what I'm saying? And then men's are stronger, so it's kind of like, well, just get out of there. But she can just lie and say you tried something. So that's the thing you gotta worry about. You ain't gonna go that way, but don't put your position. But you just do whatever the Lord say, because either way, when you're belong to God, God will cover you and work it out for you like He worked it out for Joseph. You see what I'm saying? And that was designed to work for his good, because he had to get in that position. That allowed him to get to that position to save the world from famine. Okay, so so we're not worried about those types of things. We're not worried about those things. I did everything I could to avoid being in places and things, but God made it work for my good. God did not want me to marry the man that I married in the past. He told me, but I just didn't know. I wasn't tuned in with my gift all the way. My gut kept saying no, no, no. I kept knowing it was no, but I didn't have. I thought I didn't know. I thought, okay. I thought I knew something. By this time, I had my son already, so I thought, okay, so I got to find somebody in church, all these other things. So this person went to church, was in the choir with me, um, read the Bible with me, prayed with me. You see what I'm saying? Everybody spoke a lot of wonderful things about him. So it's kind of like he's buying me gifts. He's doing all these wonderful things for me and my son. So I'm thinking, I mean, what am I going to just break up with someone on some old, on some old, I got a feeling you ain't good for me. But the first time we was intimate, he raped me. So that was enough right there. See? But I was very naive. So, and if you've been already through all these things, so that's where therapy comes in place. And that's where you begin the self-love journey. And so that's where I love myself now. And I begin that journey of getting therapy, having boundaries, loving yourself, knowing that being a people pleaser, I used to be a people pleaser, that is a sign of lack of self-love. Okay? And you can develop that by who knows what. If you're in an environment where you're not being loved, shown love, you don't know what love is because no one's doing it for you. And that's all you know is abuse. and no love, how are you gonna just develop self-love, right? So so in therapy, dealing with things from childhood and all these other things, like I said, I was molested since 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 year old, introduced to pornography at like 4 or 5, and in home, you know and so it just but I always prayed to God, and I wanted to wait. And so God is a God of restoration. God is a God of new beginnings. So now I'm a new beginning, and I've been single, loving the Lord, working on myself and self-love, and all these wonderful things. And since 2007, you can say my whole life, but I would say since my divorce, 2007, I've never been in a relationship and or married since. I went on a dating app a couple of years ago for the first time. What was that, 2020? Shoot, I don't know. Oh, okay. So when I was in Georgia, 2018, and 2019. So 2019, I'm in Georgia, and I met a guy. I didn't like him though, but I just was trying to step off it. I was like, no, because after I went through what I went through, I felt like tomorrow was not promised. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and try to do this dating and be with someone, and maybe I'll, And so this guy, whatever, he lived there, and I went to the movies with him. We talked on the phone, but there was no connections. I'm like, he wasn't really into church, all like that. He really wasn't deep with God. He would say a little bit of things, but he made it clear that that wasn't his thing, and I respect that. We went to the movies one time. We didn't go out to eat, just went to the movies and talked a little bit, and that's it. So it just, that was like, no. And then someone else, what I don't consider a date, is someone I've known already. He lived in Georgia. We were cool. So it's just like a friendly movies. No date, not no over no meal or nothing. No intimate conversation. There was no intimate conversation. It was just like two people that know each other that's cool. Like, hey, and I was new in that state, and he'd been here for quite some time. And I've known him through business and stuff like that. We went to the movies. He was always, my ride. He helped me with rides, going to church and stuff. I'm new in the area type thing. But, so that was it. Moved to Boston, back to Boston, 2019. 2019. What was that? 2019. Ended 2019. Moved back to Boston, 2020. I think sometime 2020. I called myself, I can do this. I can do this. And so I caught myself, this one guy I met in a grocery store. I was with somebody, and, I don't know, I felt something strong in there with him. But anyway, he was looking at me. Make a long story short, he went and gave me his number at my car or something like that. And then we talked, and we met up for coffee, like, coffee date. And I started crying on a date. That's a red flag for me. If I'm crying, that's a red. I didn't notice that about me. That's not good. And so I'm crying. I'm like, yo, this is gonna freak out. Like, what's wrong with this lady? I'm bawling. And so that was the end of that. So but in a conversation, also, we're not on the same page. He had such a darkness about him. I was just like, it was very, very, I felt like that's a dangerous guy. So anyways, that was my gut, and yeah. And so stopped talking to that guy. And then I started to notice, like, I would go to that same place and notice that he was doing that with other women. So any female, basically, he was hollering at. So there was that. But I'm just trying to step out there, like, hey, I can do this type thing, And then I get on a dating app, and I'm talking to someone, a female. She's like, not like that, but a female that I know. We just got to know, kind of cool, just talking, and she's in a relationship, and so she's encouraging me to date, go on a dating app and all of this. And so I'm like, okay, because she was kind of like, why don't you just, people putting that pressure, but it was okay, because I'm like, at that, I'm just like, yeah, I should be, yeah, okay, I can do this. So I get on this dating app. It's supposed to be a Christian dating app. I think it's a Christian dating app. I can't remember the dating app, but it's supposed to, I think it was it was a Christian dating app. It had to be a Christian dating app. I think I tried another app, but I didn't really entertain that one too much. It was a popular one, I think, but I went on a Christian dating app. Whatever Christian dating app is out there. And so, you know how you go on there, you talk, people respond to you, da, da, da. But I entertained a few conversations, and talking to now, I'm like, oh my goodness. What? I'm like, okay, so you can be a Christian and have different beliefs. So I'm like, oh yeah, he was, uh, we wasn't talking the same. So different ones. And then some of them was they kept saying like, I'm not giving you my number. I'm not FaceTiming you. I don't know you. Like I need to see what this is. And I didn't know about catfish. They was like, but how do we know you? You are who you say you know. And I didn't know nothing about catfishing. So now I get it. Now I say, oh, that's why they want to see you as a real live person because of catfishing. I didn't. That's how hip I didn't know about that kind of stuff. And so, but one guy, it seemed like we was chatting, but I had a red flag because just certain things I picked up right away by just his photo and his name and stuff. Something was like no, but every time I would talk to him, it seemed cool on it. So then we actually decided to go out to eat. We met up there. I didn't get in his car or nothing. We met there, went out to eat Chinese food, and based on what he said there, and I already was like, still not feeling it. But then I did some research based on what he was telling me, and I went on Facebook and researched it and found out that he was a liar. And then someone reached out to me and said something. So anyway, I cut that off. Make a long story short. And then 2 months after that, 2 months after that, maybe around the summertime, so I get the message, this other guy that I did business with or whatever, and he seemed really cool. I thought he was a Christian, a man of God or whatever. He was very helpful and stuff like that. So he was expressing he always liked me, and I said, yeah, I always liked you too. And because I liked how he was treating me. He seemed like he was a man of God and stuff. But anyways, then he just seemed different. I was like, whoa, this seems like a different than the. I'm like, yo, did he change? I'm like, yo, what happened? Because maybe that's who he was this whole time. But it was like night and day. Make a long story short, cut that off. And that's when I said, and this was like 2020, 2021. It had to be 2021. 2020 or 2021. Yeah. 2020, probably 2020. Yeah, I think it was 2020. And so, anyways, 2020, 21. And so yeah, and still no relationship. Just entertaining conversation, trying to do what people say. Keisha, when you gonna, and I'm over there like, I don't know, I try it. So then that's when Lord was like, no, focus on him, focus on yourself, and what I was doing. Someone told me to do this, but I felt like the Lord wanted me to focus on him, focus on myself, and what he had me doing. And so, um, yeah. And so I'm in therapy and working on myself and self-love, and that's it was beautiful. And I saw the difference. I said, yeah, this is important to have this, because then you will never settle. So then I love myself. And so I was so loving myself and enjoying myself and God and da-da-da-da-da. And the next thing you know, and my therapist told me in 2023, she's like, you're ready for marriage. You're ready. You're ready, ready, ready. I didn't say much about it. I just continued to just focus on what I'm doing. And then 2024, the conference and all that other stuff. And that's how this whole talking about dating and marriage and all this other believing God and all this other stuff began. And it's been beautiful though. It's been very beautiful. And so learning about it, preaching about it, teaching on it. But for many, many years, I've helped a lot of marriages be blessed, and work out. I've had people reaching out to me and stuff, and I've helped for years. And then they would be like, what about you? And I'm like, don't talk about me. I'm helping you, girl. I'm helping you, girl. I'm helping you, girl. And that's how it would go. hmm And so, yeah. So now the other videos, what we're talking about. And so I guess what I would say is, how do a person wait on God for marriage? How do they know when it's the right time? How do they? Because people ask, I've asked that, like, how do you know? But how do you know? How do you know? You just seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, all things be added unto you. You know, um, and you just do what it is that God tells you to do, and you'll know who the person is that God has you to marry, because God's going to tell you and you're going to know. It's going to line up with his word perfectly, you know. There's not going to be no rape. Someone that loves, that God ain't going to rape you, is not going to molest you, is not going to cross your boundaries, is not going to do things outside of God's order. Outside of God's order is a woman going to the man saying, hey, you're my husband, without him first telling her that. You know what I'm saying? That's not what a woman of God, not a Proverbs 31 woman would do. And a man would not abuse a woman. You see what I'm saying? On any level. He's going to love her as Christ loved the church. He's going to demonstrate that in the beginning. And so you'll know. And so when that person comes, like the person I do believe is my husband, you know, I do believe that. There's no doubt in my mind that there is none, you know what I'm saying? But my focus ain't that. My focus is doing what God tells me to do. My focus is Jesus. My focus is myself. My focus is I'm not going to call him and say, hey, listen, you're my husband. We supposed to be married. And we are. And we going to go ahead and do this, that, and this. Like, that's not what we do. Because God knows everything got to go the way God wants it to go. And so, and it's not that who my husband is that, oh, I'm just going to have Keisha waiting. It's because he got to be obedient to God. You see what I'm saying? And so, you know, he got to be obedient to God, just like I got to be obedient to God. It's not that he don't want to be with me, who my husband that God has for me. If God, you see what I'm saying? Everything's about obedience to God. And so, you know, God told Mary, you know, she was going to be conceived with the Holy Spirit was going to overshadow her. She was going to give birth to Jesus Christ. And God told Joseph, no, marry her. God had moved supernaturally because of what God has given them to do. And even though they were pledged to be married, they had to wait until Jesus was born, came out of her womb, before they could be intimate in their marriage. So they was married, but they kind of had to act like they weren't. In that aspect, they couldn't do what the other married couples normally would do yet. They were going to, but there was a time. And so with me and my husband, you know, everything is in the will of God and in God's perfect timing. And so so that's that. So it doesn't matter what I say. I already is what God already spoke, what already released, what already is. I couldn't shake it when I tried to. So that's how you you know. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing I can say or do that's going to change what God already wrote. There's nothing I can, whether I speak faith or not. There's plenty of people that are married and they did not speak Mark 11:24, but they're married, right? Okay. So now there's nothing wrong with, you know, operating in that high level of faith and proclaiming and what they say, affirmations and declarations, and those are great things and you should do those things. But regardless, if something already happened, God already wrote it, Genesis to Revelation, it already happened. Nothing's going to change that. Nothing's going to change that. Mary and Joseph was already chosen, and I want to say Prophet Isaiah, books prior in history, before they were even thought of or born, it already happened. See what I'm saying? Jesus was already born, so that means that marriage already took place. And so that's what we have to understand. To rest in God. That's the message also right now, is to know how to rest. Yes, pray. Men ought to always pray and not faint. But you got to sleep. You ain't praying when you're sleeping. You got to make love to your husband and your wife. You got to take care of the kids. You can't pray 24/7 every day. You got to make room for trust in God also. You got to know how to rest and be his children. God don't want you to be all in warfare zone and all that. That's the trick of the enemy. Now, communion with God, knowing you got a relationship with God, God is in you, just relaxing, restful. There's times where I'm praying, and then there's times where I'm just chill. Like right now, the Lord don't have me praying all heavy and all that. I'm not doing all that. I'm watching movies, you know. But I'm on here sharing this because this is entertainment. This is a revelation, but this is also a blessing to me. I'm enjoying this. And this would be something I'll be saying anyway. And I was already thinking this anyway. And so now I'm sharing it with you all, which is feeding us all. And it is a blessing. You know what I'm saying? So just know that you can rest in God. You can trust God and not say nothing. You not praying or praying is it's not gonna destroy you. It's not gonna you ain't gonna fall because you didn't pray today. You ain't gonna fall because you didn't pray 5 times today like you normally do. Yeah, pray, but I'm just saying. And pray every day. Yes, I pray every day. I still get more. I just listen. I said, God, thank you for waking me up this morning. God, thank you. Oh God, this is a wonderful meal. Thank you. See what I'm saying? There's always a community. I'm never not praying. I'll say that. But so that to me don't even feel like prayer. It's just it's a relationship. I'm just talking to God. So we always talk, and He's also in me. I'm like, oh God, how do I do this? I'm on my phone. Oh, how do I figure this out? So this is, I'm never not praying. I always tell people that. But as far as going deep in prayer and warring and going in deep, and declaring, going all boom, 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 you ain't got to do that all the time. You got to trust God. Like once you not do all that you can, then stand. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Now watch God move. Don't try to do His work. Let Him, trust Him. He heard you. Listen, we ain't got to pray long. You're not wrong praying long if you want to. But God heard you the first time. Jesus, I need your help. God heard you clearly. And He knows what you stand in need of. He said, don't worry about tomorrow. For tomorrow worries about itself. So you ain't got to worry about that. And so rest in God. Go watch some TV. Go watch a movie. Go do your homework. Go do your schoolwork. Go to work. That's it. God heard you. Lord, here it's in your hands. I'm resting. I'm taking a week off. I'm not doing all this week. And you're fine. Don't feel like, oh, something's going to happen to you. Oh, my God. Oh, the devil's going to get you now. Like, no. Go rest and go to sleep. Go watch TV. Go to the movies. You got to balance it out. Be as children. Talk to God. Talk to God. We always talk to God. I can't not talk to God. But as far as going deep warfare, praying, deep fasting all the time, you got to eat sometimes. You can't fast too much. You got to eat sometimes. You can't, listen, I know about fasting, baby. I used to be bony skinny from fasting. Not bony skinny like that, but shoot, skinny from fasting. So I would fast for no problem. I'm eating, baby. Ain't nothing wrong fasting, but you ain't got to fast all the time. Fast till noontime. Then eat something. But, I mean, you can take a break. You can't fast every day, 365 days a year, every year. God heard you. Your fasting, yeah, it makes a difference. But guess what? You can't do that. Jesus fasted 40 days and 40 nights, right? Did it say 365 days a year? Do a 21-day fast. Take a break. Follow the Bible. Whatever the Bible's saying. See what I'm saying? Follow the people in the Bible. Follow the Bible. Genesis, Revelation. How were they fasting? And Jesus is Jesus. So don't try to do what Jesus did. He fasted for that. I think just water. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't recommend that. No. I don't recommend it. And when you come off a fast, be gentle on your stomach with the food you eat. Be very gentle coming off of a fast. Be very gentle coming off of a fast. If you did water only for 3 days, make sure you're able to do that. You can't take medication and stuff and only water. See what I'm saying? Because the enemy is trying to come against you not in that way. By ignorance. My people is Twitter lack of knowledge of me. You got to eat something. Try to put all this stuff like, oh no, all this important stuff like you gotta fast, you gotta do this, you can't eat, go another day, and then it just to make you sick. Now it's turning into something else. You see what I'm saying? And that's how the enemy try to trick you too. And so just follow the Bible with the fasting. Don't do what Jesus did. Don't do what Jesus did. That's for Jesus. He's God. But follow the other, follow the apostles with what kind of fast he did. And Daniel fast is perfect. He did 21-day fast. Do a 21-day fast till 12 noon or something. Or do a 3-day fluids only. Like, be gentle. Listen to your body. If you feel weak, You feel like you about to eat something, but coming off your fast is important. How you come off. So if you do a 3 day only water and your body's able to do it, and you know it, and that's a serious one. That's real serious. You want to come off with some chicken broth. Only liquids. Okay? Only liquids. Not no soda, baby. Not no soda. Chicken broth, bone broth, vegetable broth. Just think soup juice without the meats and none of the pastas. For at least the first day. See what I'm saying? Only liquids. So like juice, broths. Second day, soup. Not no heavy hot sauce stuff. Because you got to get your digestive system adjusted to this whole thing. And then, and your water and your juice. Third day, I would say keep the same soup 2 days after that. So just think of it. You can still consider that a part of your fast. You can say 3 day water only. And then the other 3 day can be broth. The fourth day broth. The second fast can be soup. And the third, day can be broth, chicken, boom. And do a 21 day. And then you could do, then the following week can be fruits and vegetables. Or one meal. There you go. One meal. You could do the one meal. Then you could do fast till 12 noon the last days that go to come up to your 21 days. There goes your fast. Now take a break. Take a break. Okay? Then you could take a break. And then you could do a fast that's like twice a week. You could do you could do however way you want. You could do once a week, once a month. So you can do 21 days straight, or you can do periodic things like once a week, once a month, till 1 day. But don't do all these 365 days, 2 years, 3 years. No. Do what the Bible. Anybody in the Bible did that. So if we go to the scriptures, that'll keep us good. That's all we go. Is anybody in the Bible doing that? Did God say do that? Don't do it. Go eat you some food. You'll be fine. God will give you, That's why God is teaching us this, right? If somebody's on medication, they got to follow the advice of the doctor and the medication. You can't, if it says don't take medication in a water fast. Don't do that. You got to eat something. Even if it says you don't have to. No. You don't want to take no medicine and do a 3-day water fast. And herbs and things like that is medicine. Those are natural medicines. So you want to, if you're gonna, I'm not a doctor or anything. I don't know all that like that. But you really, if you're doing that, sometimes you really want to do like a 1 meal a day type fast or something like that. You don't want to do just straight hardcore water only. Okay, God got you though, because I've done some stuff. That's why I'm teaching y'all. I'm telling y'all, I've done some stuff. Now, if you're a woman and you're on your cycle, during your cycle, you don't fast. Okay, during your cycle, you do not fast. And if you're pregnant, you don't fast. When you have a baby and you're nursing, you don't fast. Okay, if you have a baby you're nursing, you can fast, and you got to talk to your husband. Y'all got to agree. But it could be something like till 12 noon. You see what I'm saying? It could be no meat. It could be the Daniel fast where they did 21 days, but it was but I don't know if this was that, but people call it the Daniel fast. I don't know if that's exactly his fast, but fruits, no meat, basically a vegetarian diet or a vegan diet. So you can still fast, and it's still great for your body that way also. But you can fast that way. That's the other thing. You can fast like that, You don't have to fast. Now Esther, their whole community during that hard time, they did a 3-day water fast. They didn't do more than that. If I'm not recalling, they didn't do more than that. They all did 3-day. Matter of fact, I think they did a dry fast. I think they did 3 days, no water and no food. That's serious. I don't recommend that though. That is real hardcore. I don't recommend that. But If somebody want to try it and they ain't on medication, there's no elements going on with their body, stay hydrated like you ain't never the day before. and then listen to your body. If your body starts to feel like need some water, go sip some water. I'm saying. But they did do a dry fast. I believe it was no food and no water. No nothing. 3 days. And that was a very serious time for them. And I think if there's anything else. So how to be prepared? How do you know? So Keisha, so what are you gonna do? Let's say some other guys kind of holler at you. Ain't no other guys trying to holler at me. Shit. They ain't. They don't. Nope. I just do what my God tells me to do. That's it. So that's just how that go. No man, I'm gonna speak this though, and I've already think I prayed this already, so that's how I know. Ain't no man coming to me that is not sent from God in that way. He don't have he don't have access to me. He can't get to me. Number two, I ask all the right questions. So if you don't got Jesus, you ain't even a Christian. There's nothing to talk about. The resources of what it is that I'm believing God for is small. So of course the answer is I already know the answer is no, 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 no. You ain't a Christian. You ain't a born again. You ain't doing the will of God. So the answer is no. That's easy. And so that's that. We ain't got nothing in common. Your vibe is different. My vibe, your vibe and my vibe. I got the power. You don't. You got darkness. I got light. So there's nothing to talk about. The moment, the way you look at me, the way you talk, your whole approach is darkness. So why would I? There's nothing to even talk. We can't get past. We can't even get past that. We can't even get past your vibe. So the Lord made it very clear to me who's Christian, who's not, and it's not many. So the resources of that is small. So it can only be this one man that is designed for me. And I prayed to the Lord years ago. I said, Lord, this is what I said to God. And that's when all these prophecies started coming forth. That's when it started coming forth concerning a husband for me. The day I prayed this prayer, the same day it began. I said, Lord, and I already have my 2 kids. If there's no true holy man if there is no true holy man of God for me, at least one. Is that one? Why am I specifically saying one? Because there's only one. That's what. I'm like, is there at least one? I've been traveling, I've been around, I've seen, I'm like, nope, 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 nope. It was prophesied. Many thought, but it would not, nope, 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 Keisha, nope, nope, nope. It was already prophesied. No, 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 no. Is there at least one true holy man of God? This whole planet, guys, at least one. If there's not one true holy man of God that will love me and be faithful to me, then Lord, help me to be by myself and just focus on you and live my life for you and raise my children. And because I remember, y'all heard my past, right? So I done been married before. I know what it's like to be married to someone that's an adulteress, abusive, and all that. I've been in other relationships. I know what it's like to be cheated on, have people having kids on you and mistreating you and lying and don't value you, don't love you, don't support you, ain't there for you, can't even get you a meal, can't even take you out to eat, can't even be there for your birthday, can't even call you on your birthday, can't get nothing for Valentine's Day. Can I get a card or something? I mean, so I've already been there. See what I'm saying? So why ain't nobody gonna do that? I done had a whole history. 13 years old till 20, whatever age that was. Till 26, 27 years old. Right? So I've already been there, done that. So that's how I know. Came across a whole bunch of other men that I didn't entertain because they let me know clearly, no to the no. Don't go there. So I done been around a bunch of guys. Didn't sleep with a bunch of them, but a good amount. But a whole bunch of them I've seen, been around. It's too many. I'm like, yo, damn, is there at least one? No. No. On social media. No. Off social media. No. In person. No. Is there at least one? This is from 13 years old. Even before that, we talk about Molly, all this other stuff. From 13 years old, because I was molested by guys and men too and rape. Okay, since 13 years old till 26, 27. Is there at least one? Now, this particular man, only God knows. Only God knows. Only God knows. He's the only one that I could see myself saying yes to. Like, I wouldn't even hesitate. If he asked me today, I would say yes immediately. I wouldn't need to go on a date or nothing. Because I already know what type of man he is. Everybody knows what type of man he is. Otherwise, he's the only one. Ain't no one. There's no other man that I can say that's available for me that I can say, other than him, that I can say could be a possibility. No. If it ain't him, then obviously then it's just me and Jesus, because obviously there's no other man. There's no other man I know that's like him. That I could be with. My son is amazing, so that's why I'm saying that. I don't know any other man. None but him. Straight up. And I know a lot of people. Not one other person could I consider. Otherwise, I would have entertained it. So that's what I'm saying. None. Been on the dating apps, y'all heard me speak what I was speaking. And even I've had leaders tell me, it's like, it's bad out there. And he was an old pastor of mine. He said that he knows people, a lot of people all over the world. He even said that to me. And I looked at him like, I guess my eyes be saying a lot. I looked at him like, he was like, it's real bad out here dating. For him to say that. So guess what? There you go. so I done seen it. I done had I didn't listen. I had guys trying to holler at me, talking to me a whole bunch in different ways. Some of them said they were prophets and pastors saying, "Oh, God said this. God said you're my wife." How? That no, I'm not, cause you got a wife. God no, God ain't gonna do that. You married, no. So that's what I'm saying. I done been across, seen them. They done try to toss me online, offline. All I do, I didn't even have to do much entertainment. All I do is go on people's pages and it tells me everything. I'm like, yo, when I mean tell you everything, I'm talking about the date and the time and the photo on your page is showing you and your wife and kids and y'all married and all that. And your profile saying you married. So what does that say? And then I ask you, are you married? Because I'm on your Facebook right now and I see a picture of you and your family. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. So I'm the type to check and I'll say something. So I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he's the only man of God, and the only man. My son is a wonderful man. He's a wonderful person, wonderful person. But he's my son. But this man I'm talking about, that everybody keeps saying that he's my husband, and I'm having dreams about him and visions about him and meeting him, and he is the only man that if he asked me, I would say yes. No other man will I entertain. No, I wouldn't entertain. Because I already know they're not my husband. So that means my focus needs to just be God there. If it ain't him, then my focus is God there. Like I already told God. Years ago. That was like 2008. Because I'm blessed. I'm happy. I'm happy right now. I mean, I done had all that anyhow. I mean, I've been single, not doing nothing since 2007. We in 2025. But guess what? God knows my heart's desire, and He knows how I'm built physically. So He ain't gonna not let me be intimate. He's not gonna let that happen. So, okay. And then I can say, oh, well, raise a husband up from the dead. Why do that when there's a man that's here, that he's single? So why raise a man from the dead that's saint of God when there's a man here that's alive, that's a man of God? Why would God do that when there's a man that's alone? God said it's not good for man to be alone. If he's single, he's alone. Unless he got that gift. But if he ain't got that gift, then guess what? It's not good for him to be alone. So if I'm single, I'm a woman of God, and he's single, he's a man of God, and I'm available, and he's available, why wouldn't God put us together then? And we know each other. We in the same town and everything. He ain't far from where I live. He ain't in another country, another state somewhere. Everything's right here. See what I'm saying? And it's been prophesied. So I'm sitting on it to say all that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? All that makes sense. So what would a person do is you just focus on God and love God. You ain't got to do nothing but ask Him and know that you got it. And it's going to just show up. Out of nowhere, this man just showed up. I wasn't looking. I was focusing on myself. When I was looking, He didn't just show up. But when I just focused on God, like God told us to do, and I just began, especially the love journey and loving myself also, in which God told me to do, He showed up. And it made sense. It was clear as day. The spirit realm is considered, you can almost say, the future or potential future. So my dreams and visions are in the realm of the spirit. And what happens in the spirit realm shows up in or spirit realm could show up in the physical. And I say that because obviously things that's not of God or things that's not the will of God, things that you don't want in your life, that shows up in the spirit realm, like a car accident. You see a car accident. So in the spirit realm, you had a dream about that. You wake up, you pray against it, so it's not going to happen. You don't want that to show up what? In the physical. The Bible says in Colossians 1:16, the invisible world and the visible world. So there's a visible world that we see, like you see me high, and then there's an invisible world. And the world, the spiritual realm, is eternal. He said the thing about, another scripture says, the things that are seen The things that are seen with these natural eyes are temporary, but the things that are not seen are eternal. Okay? So the spirit realm is an eternal place. And so whatever we don't want, we don't receive it. But whatever we want, we receive it. And um, so if all I'm seeing in the spirit realm is this man of God, man of God, man of God, man of God, and it was already in the spirit realm through prophecies from years ago, and certain things saying certain things that will take place first, if those prophecies were true or not. Any prophecies that was not of God or the will of God would never happen, because it's a lie, so it doesn't exist, you know. But there's been, certain things. So, um, so there's a spiritual part, then it shows up in the natural. The things that is the will of God. And it shows up in the natural. That's why Isaiah was able to prophesy the birthing and the coming of Jesus Christ. If I'm not mistaken, he was prophesying that, and he saw it in the spirit realm. His eyes, his natural eyes, him physically being in that time zone, in that timeline, didn't exist yet. So he was in the eternal place and called the spirit realm. He was in that place in the spirit realm where he saw something that was going to take place in the future. And then Mary and Joseph were the ones who were chosen for that assignment, and it showed up in the physical. And it took years before it showed up. So things in the spirit realm could take years. It could take years. It could take days. It can take hours. It can take seconds. There's some things I'll see it happen seconds later, or a second later, or within a second. And then there's things that could take place later. As a prophet, I see things real far, and I also see things very close. So I can see things way far, and then I can see things way close. I can get a revelation from the Lord, information from the Lord for the day. Like the message we hearing now, the Lord already gave it to me in the spirit. As I was sleeping and as I woke up, he gave it to me already. And so I didn't know. I don't want to say try to avoid the preaching thing. I was like, well, maybe today I'm not going to do nothing on YouTube today. And so I'm watching a movie, and then it just comes up that way. And it's good. It doesn't feel like, I'm loving it. This is a blessing to me as well. And so, and it's for me. So that's why I like having 0 views. I'm still doing the work of God. I'm being obedient to God, but it's for those who God wants to hear it. And obviously it's me. And 0 is a great number. 0 casualties among the Christians. 0 is a perfect number. 0 balance. Your balance with the company is 0. You don't owe no money. So I love 0. 0 is my favorite number. So I don't, to be honest with you, now if I can be honest with you, because right, the spiritual world he says is eternal. The seen world is temporary. Every day in the spirit realm, I'm with my husband. So I don't feel single. I don't. I'm not asking for these dreams. I'm not asking for these visions. I'm not asking for these things. In the sense of, I don't want to say it like that. I ask for marriage and stuff, but I don't ask for the dreams. I'm not, these things are things that's out of your control. You know what I'm saying? Like I was talking to my husband in my dream today, and I'm like, oh, like I'm getting to know him more. I was giving him something to eat, I think, in the dream, and then I said, you eat like a vegetarian. Now, by the way, dreams and things like the interpretation, sometimes dreams and visions, what you see, like Daniel was trying to he needed a revelation in Daniel chapter 7, understanding, and the angel assisted him in helping him understand that dream he had. It was so different. So sometimes a dream can mean one thing. You can see one thing. That's one thing I learned about these dreams now. This level of my dreaming. Sometimes it seems to be coded. It seems to be a mystery behind it, and I'm getting used to the revelation behind it. I'm getting used to the interpretation of it. So I'm like, oh, that meant this. Okay, that meant that. And so I don't feel like I'm not married to my husband, because in the spirit realm, we're always together. In the spirit realm, I dream about him every day. That's just what happens. Ever since the marriage conference, where basically they was hooking us up. So that's when it happened. I never. So, I mean, that's just the bottom line. And so, every single day, every day, there's some type of spiritual connection thing that we have every day that the Lord allows. And it's not sinful, it's not bad or anything. And it's clear I'm his wife and he's my husband. And then there's times where, yeah, and then there's times where we are in a warring time mode, warring mode. When we in that warring mode, it's just not that we don't say we're married. It's just different, you know. But every day we're married, so I don't feel lonely. I don't feel like I'm not married to him. In the spirit realm, and the spirit realm is also a future place. So perhaps it's a marriage that's going to manifest itself in a more physical way. And I'll say in a way of how the Lord's going to do it. That's it. I mean, I prophesy all the time, a lot. I saw a vision take place that I dreamt 2 days. It's on Saturday. I was like, oh my gosh. The vision of me and my son getting something to eat. That I've never been to this place before. He took me there. And I saw that whole vision show up in real life. And that was a dream I had, a dream or vision I had. It might have been a vision or dream, one of the two. I had last year. Yeah, 2024. And I saw it show up. So I will say this. I'm seeing, if I'm not mistaken, I'm seeing a lot of my dreams and visions from 2024 show up a lot lately. And that was one of them. Just simple things like that. The restaurant we was at, I've never been there before. I went to go visit my son, hang out with him. And he took me there. He kept saying, let's go here. I was like, okay. And then, because I had planned on going grocery shopping. So I'm grateful. So we went there. And then I saw the vision that I had, the dream or the vision I had manifest itself. And so I've seen a lot of other things manifest itself that I saw last year. So then there's a chance that all of this is gonna all come, just like these other prophecies. All this stuff is just gonna manifest itself. The ones that God wants to manifest itself. And it was so funny because it was pizza too, and that's what we had. So I'm like, oh. And the thing about, I'm noticing how things will manifest in the physical can look different. Than how I'm used to. I'm getting used to this new, how it appears also physically. Technology being used as part of it. I'm seeing visions and dreams come to pass that were actually movies. It wasn't until really this year, I want to say, I really started watching movies like I've been watching movies. Maybe the end of last year, maybe. So I'm noticing some dreams and visions that I had were actually of movies that I've watched now. So it didn't. It showed up in the physical, but it showed up in the physical through technology. In that way, it wasn't like, an actual place I went to. It was a movie that I watched. So I'm like, oh wow, okay. So the Lord can speak through movies. Obviously, I would see how we're watching this movie, and then we get this word came from me watching this movie, and I'm not even finished yet. So I'm like, wow, God, I didn't think of this as a way that the Lord would use me this way. But the Lord has allowed me to rest and enjoy myself, and but then still feeding me in such a unique manner, and I'm so grateful. And then giving me a revelation and having me preach and teach it like this, in the comfortability of my own home as I'm reclining in my massage chair. And like I mentioned, the Lord said the reason why I was speaking in Mark 11:24 manner and faith was for you all. That's why. So you to know what faith and action looks like, how you should speak, how you should talk, and it is true. You have to believe that you received it. So even me talking in this way is just because this is how the Lord wants me to speak it, and that doesn't change my faith. Okay? That doesn't change what God spoke. It doesn't change what God already wrote. And it doesn't change what God already written from Genesis to Revelation. You can't change the Bible. None of us can change it. Why? Because God already saw the end of this movie. If you want to use a movie concept. You see what I'm saying? If you watch, look, I can go to that Prime movie right now, or YouTube movie right now, and forward it, unless they got them commercials where they don't let you forward it. But for the most part, we're going to say the ones you can forward to. You can just say, I want to see the end, and go straight to the end. I want to see the script. But the person who wrote and produced and directed and wrote, uploaded and put the movie out, knows the beginning, the middle, and the end. Knows the entire movie. So God already knows. You can't go in and I can't go on a movie and there's a movie that I'm watching called Invasion. If you watched it already, you already know. Like the movie Splash. That's from a long time ago, right? I watched that not too long. I watched that too. I was like, oh my God, the Lord would just put all these movies in my spirit and I would watch it. That movie was written, produced, out since 1984 or something. I think something in the 80s, I want to say. I can't just go in the movie while I'm watching it and go in and change it. It's already a movie that was written, produced, directed. Who knows how many people have watched it from so many years ago till now? The same actors, the whole script is, the whole movie is there. I can tell you how it ended. I can tell you the middle of it. I can tell you the beginning of it. You can't go in and change it and make it something else. The end is this man is married to the woman who's a mermaid. The beginning is they met as children. He almost drowned. She saved him. Because she was under the water, she didn't under the water, she was able to help him live under the water because he was with her. They didn't see each other for years. He just so happened to be on the ocean, accidentally has an accident, goes in the ocean. She rescues him, and that's the same woman from a little girl. How did that happen? That was like, you know what I'm saying? Make a long story. They was destined to be together, and that's why they was together. Nothing stopped it. Nothing could stop it. It's just a movie, but what I'm saying is that it's written. Genesis to Revelation is already written. God already knew in the movie, if you want to look at it that way. If you were just watching it, right? The actors and the people in the movie, if it was real, but we're just saying like this, if it was real, the people in the movie were making those choices. Nobody told them to make those choices. He just so happened to that got on a boat, bumped his head, whatever. She so happened to be found his wallet looking for the man. Statue of Liberty and all of that. She's butt naked, no clothes on. He so happens to be looking for her, find her. She's at the station because they helped her to get help and helping her. And then he takes her home with him, and they can't keep their hands off each other. So he wants to marry her. So all these choices being made, these people get mad. They said, "Oh no, the scientists want to use her for an experiment or something like that. The government's after her. She goes back in the ocean." Yeah, if you want to look at an aspect of if those were real people, nobody was making them do that. Those were choices each person was making in the movie. So the person who put the video out has proof of what happened from the beginning of the movie to the end. So you can't go in and say, no, that didn't happen. Oh no, make these changes. Nah, man, this is what happened. We got it on video right here, man. Look, man. He's on a boat with his family and stuff like that in Maine or something like that, on Martha's Vineyard or Cape Cod or something. It was a Cape Cod, and the little boy, went in the water and couldn't swim, and then the mermaid rescues him, and she's a little girl and he's a little boy, and he's running a business with his brother. He's a chubby guy. He's funny. He's complaining the girlfriend and him didn't work out. Tom Hanks, this Splash movie. I don't know the rest movie over there. We're just talking about it. You see what I'm saying? The choices that people made in that movie were their own original choices. It was being videotaped. So God knows everything. He knew everything. From Genesis to Revelation, it already happened in the spirit realm. You just seeing it manifest now. That's why we have the Bible. The Bible speaking in the spirit realm. This is some heavy work. This is some heavy word right now. This is a powerful revelation right now. This is a powerful revelation. See, it already happened in the spirit realm, in a place that is eternal. And in this temporary place here, the earth. Okay? It already happened. That's why God wrote it. Genesis to Revelation, it happened already. Everything that people are going to do, everything that's already done. So I'm saying all that to say, God already knows the future thing. He already knows 2026. He already knows the end of 2025. He knows 2030. He knows all the years, if they're going to still exist, if Jesus don't come back yet. He knows eternal life. He knows everything already because it already happened. In the spirit realm, it already happened. God is a spirit. Him that may worship him in spirit and in truth. They that worship him must worship him in spirit and truth. He's a spirit. He's in the spirit realm. We are spirit beings. We're able to be in this physical world and still be a part of the spirit realm. And the spirit realm takes place before it shows up in the physical. And so Genesis to Revelation is a spirit realm. Some of it already manifested in the natural. So Genesis, all these different books in the Bible. And then there's certain prophecies, things that took place in the spirit that have not yet manifested itself out here yet. But it manifested itself in the Bible. The Bible wasn't always here. There was a time there was no Bible. But it was already written. It was already released. It already happened in the spirit realm. That's why Jesus Christ was the Lamb that was slain before the foundation of the world. So whatever choices you make, just know that you already did it. Whatever choice you will make is not going to be a choice that you didn't already make. Why? Because in the spirit realm, you did it already. Boom. In the spirit realm, you already did it. This is powerful stuff. Powerful revelation. It already happened. The movie already got put out. The people in the movie already did everything. It's recorded. It's in a movie. Some people's movies comes out of a book. Some of it's a book and a movie. It's already done. You which page you want. You ain't going back in it and erasing nothing. You can't erase that. You can rip the pages out if you want to. It still happened though. You can trash the Bible if you want to. Don't do that, but if you chose to, this okay. It's already happened. And there was plenty of times before we didn't have the Bible. And there was a time there was no New Testament yet. Just the Torah, just the Old Testament. Then there was a time there was no book called the Bible. There was no physical manifestation of it, of what took place in the spirit realm. So we got the physical of it, the Bible, and then we seeing it show up in the earth. And so a lot of the things already took place. And Moses' time took place. And Abraham's time took place. All those scenes took place. Real life events took place already. This prophesied, this one prophesied, this one prophesied, this one prophesied. Happened. And then there's still some prophecies that have not what? Showed up and manifested itself in the seen world, yet from the invisible world. But just know, every decision you will make, God already knows you were making it. God already knew when you made it. God already knew how you made it. And God can release the revelation to any prophet at any moment. And that's how you get it, what? Prophecy. You get a word about the future, about something that took place. How can you get a future information unless it already happened? And or, remember we said in the unseen world, the spirit realm, the things that should not happen. You have a choice. And whatever choice you make, just to really bombard your mind just a little bit, whatever choice you make, you already made it. So God's not going to go against his word. He's still going to reach out. He's still going to bring forth warning. And in the spirit realm, he brought forth the warning to you. And the warning showed forth in the natural. And then you responded in the spirit realm. And then you responded in that same way in the natural. The way that you chose. Whatever way that you chose, you did it already. Does that make sense? Meaning, everything has already happened that God already knows all about it. That's how powerful you know. That's how powerful he is. He knows everything. He's the only one that knows everything. God is the only one that knows literally everything. He knows the details. We have the basic book of information. We have the Bible that don't have every detail. God has the details. Because he can't fit it all in the book. He can't fit it all in one book. But he put himself in Christians and believers, and he speaks through God's mouthpieces, through prophets. And he may prophesy through a Christian. Maybe he chooses to prophesy through, but God, all things are possible. So just know, whatever choice you're going to make, in the spirit realm, you already made it. God already knew what you were going to do, what you were going to decide to do, because he's God, and it already happened. What took place in 1968? There's an event that took place in 1968. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated. In the 60s, I also want to say J.F. Kennedy was assassinated. Those are events that took place in the past. Those things happened. They're not alive today. They're not alive. They died. They're not alive. Can you go back and change that? If someone, what they got? holidays and things that people do in remembrance of them. Why? How is that? Because it happened. How do you know? Because you saw the video footage, you heard about it, you read about it. It happened. You saw the ending of something. But there was a beginning where you weren't there, or depending on your age, some of you might have been a little or something. Harriet Tubman, let's use Harriet Tubman. Help free slaves. She herself had to free herself. She's not alive now. She died. Late Harriet Tubman. There was a time she didn't die, and people knew of her, but they did not know her end. But we know her end. God knows the beginning, and he knows the end. Now we can say what? We know the beginning. We can go into history books and find out things about her beginning and know her end. She was born this day, and this is her end. That's her timeline. How did you have access to that? Because it already happened. That's how we had access to it, because it already happened. Okay, well, guess what? The Bible gives us access to what already happened. Genesis to Revelation, it already happened. God bless you.